Good morning.
Morning.
And welcome to our worship service this Sunday. My name is Lauren Brown, and I'll be your celebrant for today. My family and I have been members of this congregation for a few years now, and it brings me so much joy to call this beloved community my spiritual home. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of those who may be joining us for the first time. We are very glad that you are here. If you've come in person, we hope you have received a welcome packet with an information card in it, and if you don't have one yet, you can ask for one following the service. And if you fill that card out and drop it into the offering basket, that's one of the ways that we can be in touch with you to support you in finding your way into our community. If you're joining us online, there is an electronic version of that same card. There's a link on our website. Our welcoming committee members have yellow name tags and can answer any questions or point you toward additional information. And then whether you are new or not, whether this is your first time or many, many times you've attended here with us, we invite you to consider staying for coffee and conversation after the service, either downstairs in our fellowship hall or in our Zoom room. And now let's say our words of welcome together. Whether this is your first or your 1000th Sunday with us, and whether you strolled, rolled, zoomed, ran, or danced in, we are glad you chose to join us. We are one people of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. All are welcome here. Okay, now we are going to take a moment that I enjoy every Sunday, it's very fun, to say hello across the technical divide. So first we're going to show the people who are joining us on Zoom. And if you're at home, please turn on your camera, and people at home, give us a wave. And now people who are attending the service in our building, it's your turn to wave. There you go. Good job, nice waving, everyone. So we do have some announcements today from a variety of folks, so pay attention because we've got a couple different things. So first we're going to start with a video, and this is about the 2026, and this is a pledge testimony.
Hi, my name is John Poole. I've been a member of the UUCP since the year 2000. Every fall about this time, I renew my pledge. If we value our church and our church community, we offer each other our time, our talents, and our treasure. Because if we don't, no one else will. There is no money tree in the backyard from which we can draw support. It's up to us. I pledge because I want to do my part to keep my church vibrant and healthy. When we are a strong presence in our community, we can present Unitarian Universalism as a viable alternative to the worldview and lockstep thinking that characterizes a segment of our local civic community. I also pledge for purely selfish reasons. I welcome the opportunity to get out of my day-to-day rut and be around people who share the values that I find most uplifting. I welcome the opportunity to pledge because, quite frankly, I enjoy making the investment. It's an investment in our future that pays dividends the whole year round. Pledging is a gift I give myself. At the end of a long week, when not everything has gone my way, my soul needs a pick-me-up. It finds it here in this church every Sunday morning. Who could ask for anything more?
Another announcement, we have the congregational meeting is going to be held on December 14th in the sanctuary following the Sunday service. And this is an important meeting. The final authority of our church lies with our members, and that includes you. We need your voice at our congregational meeting on December 14th. And so the following items are on the agenda. First, the approval of the 2026 budget. Second, a report on UUCP Ignite grants. And third, election of new Board of Trustees members. If you want to know more about the budget proposal, there will be a Q&A session at 11 a.m. on December 13th at the church or also via Zoom. So check the church website or December newsletter for more information. Our next announcement is about parking at the 1912 Center. So the 1912 Center, which has been very generous in allowing us at times to use their parking space, but they also are a wonderful part of our community that has their own events. So they ask that we check their calendar and that we refrain from parking at the center when there are events scheduled at the same time as one of our UUCP Sunday services or other events. Okay, and now if Marissa wants to come forward to tell us a little bit about the White Elephant Exchange, and then we'll have Heidi tell us about Christmas for Kids.
Good morning. So in between our young adult group and our elder treasures, we have the middle ground people who are no longer young adults, and we have approximately 1 to 2 events a year, and one of them that we do most often is the White Elephant Gift Exchange. So if you are either a middle adult or a middle adult at heart, we welcome people who are in the younger 18 to 35 group, and also the elder treasures as well. But if you would like to come join us on Saturday, the 13th of December from 10 a.m. until noon, we will be meeting downstairs, and we will have some festive snacks and cookies and things. You can just bring something you want to get rid of out of your house, or something that costs less than $5. Like, keep it simple, keep it easy. And generally there are a few people who bring extra gifts too. So if at the last minute you decide you do want to come and you haven't had time to prepare, still please come by. That'll be the Saturday the 13th from 10 a.m. until noon.
All right, so it's the last week for Christmas for Kids. So if you want to buy a gift for a kid in need, then we have the gift tags with the wanted items available downstairs after church today. And then everything needs to come back to church by next Sunday. Thanks.
Okay, here end the announcements. So we want to pause and acknowledge that the land on which our church is built is part of the ancestral homeland of the Nimipu, the people, and mistakenly called the Nez Perce, or pierced noses, by French-speaking trappers and traders. We acknowledge that the land is held in sacred kinship since time immemorial. The land and its peoples suffered immeasurable trauma brought by Euro-American society, and we are working with its resilient peoples to show respect and contribute to the healing and nurturing of this Hituit Witas, precious land, and all its peoples. So we are hoping that folks joining us via Zoom have a chalice or a candle to light and something to light it with. And let's light our chalices together. John, if you want to. In light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek and seek to share. Okay, so we are going to go into our time for all ages. So we invite any children or children at heart to come forward, and Ginger will be leading us through that. And to engage in the practice of generosity together. For those of you able to make a financial contribution, the logistics are on your screen. We typically give away all of the cash from our Sunday offering to local charities whose missions align with our values, a program called the Month of Sundays. This month, the recipient is the Disability Action Center, whose mission is building community, achieving equality, and fostering independence or chosen interdependence in an accessible world. The Disability Action Center promotes independent living as a philosophy and a movement of people with disabilities who work for self-determination, equal opportunities, and self-respect. To donate, please indicate Month of Sundays on your check or from the online drop-down menu. And in the spirit of love and for the continuing work of this church, we will now take this time to practice generosity together.
Good morning. For those who don't know me, my name is Joseph Erhard-Hudson. I used to be up here more often. It's nice to be back. Just a word of apology in advance. I'm kind of winging it. Advance organization isn't my strong suit, as many will know. Also, I'm not a stoic man. I will choke up at some point as I go along. Sorry, not sorry. So my story begins. The time is somewhere around midnight at the end of June, 4 months ago. Well, it's somewhere around midnight in Moscow. I am looking out the window at the frozen expanse of northern Greenland. I'm on a flight to Helsinki, Finland, and from there a short hop over to Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. I have dreamed for over 10 years of going to see their Laulupidu, their national song festival. That's a story for another day of why, but I want to be there to see it. The festival begins on a Saturday. To begin with, there is a 4-hour parade of all the singers and musicians in the festival. Yes, 4 hours, because there are between the instrument players and the singers and the orchestra members, there are 30 to 35,000 people. They are a gathering of choirs from across Estonia and a few from around the world, but altogether 990 choirs. To put that in perspective, if Moscow were in Estonia, there would be, let's call it 27,000 people, give or take here. 600 of us would be being part of that. So, as the parade goes by, each choir is led. First comes the banner for the city. We'll start with Tartu, where the first festival was held in 1869. But behind the banner for Tartu, oh, here is the banner for the Tartu University Men's and Women's Choir. And here they come. And then comes the banner for some elementary school choir, and here they come. And then a high school choir, and here they come. And then the volunteer fire department choir, and here they come. Most people are in some kind of village traditional costume. It is pouring down rain because this is Northern Europe. And the people who make clear plastic raincoats do a mighty good business that day, because you're not going to hide your costume. You want everyone to see. And the bands are playing, and the people are singing some song now and then, and the teenagers are linked arm in arm, marching together, having fun, and the children are scampering a little bit, and, well, you can imagine a 4th of July parade, except 4 to 6 hours long, and everybody is just authentically proud to be who they are. So, I go to the choir grounds. There's 30,000 people in various combinations going up and down on the grand stand. 30,000 people at most. Think about that. The population of Moscow all standing on a choir stand, singing together. In the audience on the green in front of them, there are 80,000 people, give or take. The population of the country is 1.3 million people. 1/10 of them are there either singing or watching, and most of the rest of the country is watching on TV. So that's what they're doing. They're singing their songs, all in Estonian, even the people who came from overseas. But why? Why are they there? So let's back up a bit. 20,000 years ago, the area we call Estonia was buried under thousands of feet of ice in the glaciers of Northern Europe. About 12,000 years ago, the retreat of those glaciers was well underway. By 10,000 years ago, the post-glacial swamp forests of that part of the world, characterized by tall, dense trees and peat bogs, they were well established, and the first wave of human settlers was arriving. Somewhere between 3,000 to 6,000 years ago, the ancestors of modern Estonians and Finns and other related people have arrived, and they've been there ever since. Fast forward to roughly 1200 AD. The eastern Baltic shores, present-day Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, are the last remaining pagan areas of Europe. That's only 800 years ago or so. Down in the south, in the Holy Lands, the Crusades are underway, but are kind of tough going. The Danes and the Teutonic Knights look towards the Baltic and say, that looks easier. The Pope gives them the green light, and the Northern Crusades begin. Did you know there were Northern Crusades? No. Well, the Danes establish their rule first, and then they literally sell it to the Teutonic Knights. And then in the 1500s, the Russians push in, and the Swedes push back, and now it's under Swedish rule. But during all of that time, about half the Estonian population dies. The Swedes proved to be pretty decent imperial rulers, though, as imperial rulers go. While they're there, the Protestant Reformation washes through, making Estonia thoroughly Lutheran. The Swedes also establish Estonian language public education, including the University of Tartu in Tartu, the southern city. That is Estonia's college town. They're big enough to have one of each, and so they have one college town. The University of Tartu was established in 1632, which incidentally is 4 years before the establishment of Harvard. So the population recovers. Then around 1700, the famine arrives, followed by the Russians again, and at least half the population dies again. The Russians win that time. They crush the Estonians into serfdom, but uniquely amongst the whole Russian Empire, they leave local governance in hands of the local nobles who've been there all along. Germans, I'm not sure how they were still there after the Swedes and the Danes. Anyways, they're there, and they're in charge locally. Then in 1819, the Tsar abolishes serfdom, and things slowly begin to shift towards the Estonians as a unified people. Now it's 1850, and the Estonian national awakening thoroughly begins. Through art and culture, the Estonians begin to think of themselves as a nation instead of a bunch of peasants and farmers perpetually under foreign rule. Writers like Lydia Koidula, literally Lydia of the Dawn, prove, joke up number one, let's keep score. Prove that Estonian can be a language of sophisticated culture and not just agricultural pamphlets. Lydia writes plays and poems, including this that I will read to you in translation. Muisama on minu arm. My fatherland is my love. My fatherland is my love, to whom I gave my heart. I sing to you, my noble one, my blooming Estonia. So my heart is boiling, so pride and joy make me happy, my fatherland. My fatherland is my love. I will not leave you. If I should die 100 deaths for his cause. If the enemy slanders you with envy, you still live in my heart, my fatherland. 2. My fatherland is my love, and I want to rest. So I lay down in your arms to sleep, my holy Estonia. The birds will sing me to sleep, and flowers will bloom from my ashes. 3. As Lydia and other living authors and composers do their work, the amateur folklorists, numbering in the hundreds, begin gathering folk songs and stories, leading to the present-day archive of over 130,000 folk songs and over 1 million pages of collected story manuscripts, including many folk tales and other stories. Now it's 1869, and the first Estonian National Song Festival is held in Tartu. 880 male singers of various choirs gather. They think that's about as much as the Russian authorities who are really running it will do, and women, having women there would be possibly a little bit too much, so they're strategic. They continue to gather every 5 to 10 years, and the festival grows and grows and eventually moves to Tallinn. And in the 1910 festival, 10,000 singers are participating. Another poem to share. In 1905, the poet Juhan Liiv writes the poem Ta lendab mesipuu poole, which means she flies towards the beehive. She flies from flower to flower and flies towards the beehive. And the thundercloud is rising, yet she flies towards the beehive. While thousands fall along the way, still thousands make it home and endure toil and sorrow and fly towards the beehive. Soul, oh soul, when the times are hard. How you yearn for your fatherland. Whether you're home or in a foreign land, you long to be in your homeland. And death's wind might be blowing against you, and a bullet of death might be coming toward you. You forget about death and care, and hurry to your homeland. The First World War arrives, and the Russian Revolution at the same time. Things get messy in Moscow, and the Estonians see their chance. When the dust settles, they are an independent country and remain so. Spoiler, until the Second World War. So what do you do when you become your own country? You need an anthem, and they were in a rush, so they just borrowed Finland's. The war approaches. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is signed between Germany and Russia. The secret part of it is that they've drawn a line about who gets to keep what after the war. The war gets declared. The Russians come marching through. The Germans come marching back. The Russians come marching through again. 25% of the population dies in the fighting. The Soviets stay. Then after they take, as soon as they arrive, 10,000 people are deported to Siberia. Of those, somewhere between 3,000 to 7,000 die. The names have been lost. They didn't keep records. 1949 arrives. Stalin keeps going. 20,000 more people are deported. Men, women, and children. Many more thousands die in exile. Political imprisonments continue all the way through until about 1951. More thousands die in captivity. But through it all, the Laulupidu keeps going. Every 5 years, the Soviets allow it to happen because the Soviets are weird. Everything has to be dedicated to the Soviet and communist cause, and yet they also celebrate the individuality, the folk tales, the power to the people, who they are. And so the Estonians put a very thin veneer of Stalinism and Leninism on top of it. Yes, we're singing these patriotic songs about being Soviets. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. The first poem I read, Mui sama on minuarm, My Homeland is My Love, is set to music by one of their most greatest musical composers, and they have a lot of them, Gustav Erhard-Hudson. It becomes the last song of the 1947 festival. It becomes a surrogate national anthem because they can't sing that one they borrowed from Finland any longer. The next one comes around in 1952 or so, I think. They're not allowed to sing that one. The last song of the festival occurs, and then they start singing it anyway. No accompaniment, and eventually Gustav, the composer, is called up because what else can they do? And they start the song again, and they sing it all together. They keep trying to ban it, they keep singing it anyway. Finally, Glasnost and Perestroika arrive in Moscow. Once again, things become a real mess in Moscow, and the Estonians see their chance and they make their move. They don't become a country again. They officially pick up where they left off. Their legal position is the Soviet occupation was illegal and never had any real force. The government in exile and the local government, the Soviets, all of the local officials settle their differences about what they think Estonia should be, and they reestablish. They figure out how to be a part of Europe. They figure out a non-Soviet economy, and then the victims begin to be remembered for real. That second poem I read, the bee flies home to the beehive, is set to music. And even though it was written in 1900, it becomes about all those people deported. Some of whom wanted to come, all of whom wanted to come back, some of whom did, and some of whom never did. And let's have the choir now to sing that song for you. So, there I am at the festival among those 80,000 audience. On the first day, that Saturday, it rains. On the second day, it really rains. I envy the people down on the benches in the front who bought their tickets in advance, early enough, I should say, to get the nice seats. I'm up on the slope, sitting in the mud, doing my best. All the thousands of people in the choirs, first the women's choir, then the men's choir, then the children's choir, up and down, up and down. And all around me, the people are more or less tuned in, but they're also chatting. Oh, how are you? I don't speak a word of Estonian, well, maybe 10. But it's clear what's happening. Oh, how are you? Oh, I haven't seen you in a couple years. How's the grandkids doing? What's happening on? I'm not at a festival so much as I am at a family reunion. A family of 1 million people. But then the final set comes, and all of a sudden the talk goes down. The focus begins. The eyes, all the chit-chat ends. And the songs come up. The next to last song, which is the one I'll focus on now, Talendab Messi Pupole comes up. I'll just mention, they sing it twice. Once with the orchestra and once a cappella. On the program it was only once, but this is a choir festival where the choirs can demand their own encore. I dropped in a link, sorry for the surprise, Ryan, but here's, not by me, but another attendant at the festival took this to give you a festival's eye view. Yes, under the shell there, that's the choir. Soul, when times are hard, how you yearn for your fatherland, whether you're home or in a foreign land, you long to be in your home. Death's wind might be blowing against you. A bullet of death may be coming toward you. You forget about death and death. And hurry home. Oh, soul, when times are hard, how you yearn for your fatherland. whether you're home or in a foreign land. You long to be here in your homeland. You see why I choke up? So, a few minutes after that, the festival ends, the big flame is put out, and everyone gathers up their gear and wipes as much of the mud off of their butts as they can and head home. But they keep singing. All those choirs, they're going to keep meeting. Out of many voices, one collective voice arises and persists. It says, "This is who we are." Janice, your turn.
This is the Waylon Jennings One Voice.
Need to get closer.
If I get closer, it won't do that to me. We're going to sing it sort of like they do 1, 2, and 3. The choir will float up. Anybody who knows the song is also welcome to float up. And also, we would love it if you all joined us if you know the song. So.
There will be words on the screen when their time comes.
This is the sound of one voice, one spearhead, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices 3, singing together in harmony, surrender into the mystery. This is the sound of voices 3. This is the sound of voices 3. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind and we'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us.
So, this is a real question. What do we do with all this? What do we do with this world we're in? It ain't the Russians. It's us. It's our neighbors. It's us. People are being deported. People are disappearing. How will we remember them? I don't know if song is the way to do it, but what are the things that are fundamental to our culture that we will keep doing and we will keep singing or we will keep saying that help us remember who we are? We light a candle of hope, looking forward to when things will be better again. That's all I can say. We light a candle. I hope we can keep thinking about this. Remember that there are people in the world who know how. A thing I didn't mention was just a footnote. I should, at this point, although it's a huge story in itself, when things got messy in Russia under perestroika and glasnost, and they said, okay, we get to be transparent, we get to start saying what needs to be said, Gorbachev didn't count on them saying what they wanted to say. And they reasserted their independence, but that doesn't make the occupying forces go away. Here's how they made them go away. They did not pick up guns. They did not have guerrilla warfare. They didn't do anything like that. They sang. On the day when they reasserted their independence, the numbers are 200,000 to 300,000 people spontaneously gathered on those national song grounds and just sang. And then they stood in front of the Russian tanks and they sang. And they formed a human chain along with Latvia and Lithuania, who have their own song festivals. I don't want to sell them short, but this isn't about them today. They form a human chain, a couple million people long, from one end of Estonia to the other end of Lithuania, singing their own songs along the way. They just sang. And eventually, the tattered remnants of the Soviets and then the Russians just realized, what can you do in the face of a people who know themselves so well and will not forget? So, let's find the way that we will remember. Amen and blessed be. We'll have our closing hymn now, number 108, in the blue book. If you have a book, otherwise the words are up there, as always. Yes, rise as you are able. No closing words, that's it.
I just want to say thank you for what you shared with us. It was so moving. I found myself so inspired by these people that find their strength in their community and in their culture and preserving it, and through music, this universal thing that we humans do for no apparent reason. Like, it doesn't produce something, but we just have the ability to sing and to write words, but how powerful it can be.
You're speaking my language.
So let's have our sung benediction, There is a Love, and then we'll extinguish our chalice. Please join us as we say the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, that it might live gently in our hearts. May it light our paths as we leave this place. May it guide our way until we are together again. Please join us downstairs for conversation and coffee, and remember to keep singing.